Agri SA Northern Cape President Nicol Jansen joins us now via Zoom for a little bit more on this story. Nicol, great to talk to you again. The last time we spoke, it was about load shedding. Have things gotten worse since our last conversation?
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Peter. It's good to be back. Yeah, we have long periods of stage 6 load shedding coming from stage 4. A little bit relief to be back on stage 5 load shedding, but it's getting worse and worse because there's no new developments in Eskom bringing new generation capacity online. It's only the old stuff that have to give us the electricity on the grid. So we can't see that in the near future they will be much better than we have on the stage. The risks stay the same. The generation plants is the same old age plants that they try to keep online. So for the next year and a half, we didn't see that there's anything in the pipeline to better the situation that we do have on this stage.
All right. What are the consequences that you're seeing immediately at the moment? We did a story recently about poultry farmers where chickens are being culled because they just can't keep them under the conditions that they're working under at the moment.
Yeah, we have long phases of stage 4 and 6 load shedding, and that is the devastating thing. To have it for 1 day or 2 days, you can accommodate it and you can survive. But having it for a long period, like we do have on the stage, as well as combined with the heat wave that we have in the central parts of the country, is just a perfect storm. And that is that causes all the havoc on the stage. Furthermore, the crops is growing, it's progressing in the stage where they need more and more water. And the mathematics is simple. We can't water the crops enough in the irrigation sector all over the country. The water need is just higher. The capacity that you can water it is limited due to the infiltration tempo of the soil and the irrigation systems, how it's been developed. So therefore, that is the real fear on this stage. Going forward, see what is the need of the crops going forward for the rest of the season and how we are limited on the stage. Everything is just going to deteriorate. And that is the real concern on this stage, knowing what lying ahead. So if we on this stage can make or can do something different, have a little bit more electricity available, have the favor of nature, a little bit of rain, we can save the day. But something drastically has to happen in a very short term to turn this disaster around.
Could you get through then, perhaps, if we say that we can't get rid of load shedding completely, that maybe the agricultural sector will keep it at stage 2 or stage 3, might you be able to make a plan on a reduced load shedding schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. The agricultural sector is not asking to have no load shedding. We just ask, let the whole economy come together and see where is the vulnerability of sectors within the economy. On this stage, the agricultural sector and the irrigation sector specific is very, very vulnerable. And therefore, if we can have a stage lower load shedding than the rest of the country, it might be helpful to save the day. But the agricultural sector also has something to offer. In winter time, we have a very low demand of water. And then we can take a higher burden of load shedding, stimulating the other sectors of the economy. And that is the stuff that we have to take a look at. How the sectors can help each other out, address the vulnerability, and limit the devastating effect of the load shedding by making this plans together and get around the table.
All right, still looking at consequences. Have we seen job losses already?
I'm of the opinion that we didn't see it yet. We in an early stage, we warn what is coming if we can't make some changes immediately. So on this stage, we can save the day. Furthermore, the agricultural sector will use that as a very, very last resort. Our labor is very important. We know what is our responsibility in terms of the social environment, and our farm workers is part of the assets of the farm. So therefore, that will be the absolute last resort. So let us try to address it before that is necessary to do that drastic steps.
If this is not going to be solved in the near future, are we going to see farmers relook what they plant and the type of farming that they do, which could cause a shift in food production?
Absolutely. There's no way that you will not relook the sector that you're in and what is your investment in it. For an example, the maize that is the cash crops on the fields on the stage in South Africa produce around about 17%, 1/7 of the total maize production in South Africa. If you calculating the input cost on that, you get to 1.6 billion rand. So if you're not going to have this crop and succeed with this crop, the banks in South Africa don't have the ability to finance that type of losses. Furthermore, how are you going to pay the rent and the installments on such big losses going forward with limited profit margins within the sector, and the risk is only going higher and higher and bigger. So therefore, certainly, farmers are looking to exit the irrigation sector. The possible profit margins in relation to the risk that you have to take and the high investment you have to make doesn't add up on this stage. And that is the scary thing to hear and to see from the farmers. And that is definitely not good for South Africa. The irrigation sector is the stabilizer of production. They have more the stable yields, and therefore we need the irrigation sector. Furthermore, about 90% of all the fruits and vegetables being planted and with irrigation. So if you are going to lose the irrigation sector due to costs and not be secured in terms of electricity supply, where are we going to get our fruits and vegetables in this country? It's not possible to import with the currency that we do have. So it's absolutely necessary to save the irrigation sector in South Africa.
All right. Nicol, perhaps to close off, we're seeing extreme weather conditions and this very sad story of farm workers dying of heat stroke. I wonder if you could just talk to us a little bit about worker safety in extreme temperatures. Are there standard practices on farms, gauging temperatures, for example, and other protections?
Now, first of all, my condolences to the families of the tragic loss of lives due to heat conditions. That is very sad for the industry. It's very sad for that region. The challenge is in this extreme weather patterns is the high temperature is over a long period of day. So it's not possible to get out of the sun and the heat for the whole time that the temperatures is quite high due to the nature. You have to adapt to nature. So therefore, it's important to stay well hydrated. And I think it's also the responsibility of every citizen in South Africa to make sure in these heat conditions, we can't manage the temperature out there, we can't manage the climate, and we have to make sure that we protect ourselves in that conditions. And make sure that you are well hydrated, drink enough water during night so that you go into the day and the heat well hydrated to take it better. And then I'm sure that farmers will make sure that there's drinking water available at the working place and protect workers on that matter. But we have to take up the responsibility ourselves to protect ourselves as well due to the nature that you can't control.
Nicol Jansen, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very, very much indeed. Always appreciate the thoughts you bring to our conversations. Thank you.